Hi folks, how you doing? It's about 9ish in the morning, between 9 and 10 somewhere, and I decided, because my next door neighbours decided to start lawn mowing right outside my window at 8 o'clock this morning, that sod it, I'll just get up and have a race, because I'm not working today, which is great. Usually if I wasn't working, because if I was working I'd be up at 7. But if I wasn't, I'd sort of wake up around that time and go, oh, I'm not working, go back to bed. But they were mowing, so I've decided to have a race. And, you know, good excuse, really. Thanks, neighbour. So, you know, it's a good excuse for me to come and have a race in Automobilista too. And I've decided to have a race at my local or closest track, which is Snetterton. Not too far up the road here, only about 40 miles away. Here in Norfolk, and I've got real weather on, and the weather on here is doing pretty much exactly what it is outside at the moment, you know, so pleased to see that. I've got the difficulty set at 106. I am at an aggression level of 60. I did have that previously at 70, but since the last update I've lowered it by 10, just because the AI are that much more aggressive now. I can. Track rules is 3 strikes and you're out. As in for, you know, if you go over track limits or get a warning. And we've got 30 minutes. I've qualified in 18th. And we are in a full field of GT3s. Let's see, we've got some Genettas at the top. We've got some Camaros at the top. We've got a couple of Porsches, a McLaren, some more McLarens, some, you know, it's the BMWs. There's 3 of them at the back of the pack. I don't think there's any near the front. So at least out of the AI-driven cars, they seem to be the slowest at the moment. Anyway, here we go. Let's just race and we can talk about Automobilista 2 a little bit as we do it. But I'm just going to concentrate on the start now at Snetterton as we go green. Not a bad start, a little bit squirrely. I'm on default setups. So there is the default amount of traction control and ABS on, just a little bit of that as we come round Rich's corner. Got a McLaren right up my backside having a look, and now we are right up the backside of another McLaren in front, getting away from the orange one behind us. Nothing to our left, we can pull in nice and tight there at Palmer. Round we go. Got to be careful of that outside curbing, because curbing's alright, but once you get on that green sort of padding there, it's the orange McLaren there getting through on the inside. These new AI, they 2 of them go, they really go for any gap that's there and try and get that place back, but not stack it. Getting slightly squirrel on the way out. How can we do around Williams? And we're pushing the McLaren wide at Williams. Doesn't seem to have affected him though. Can we catch a toe off the back end? How did he get out of that corner with that kind of traction after going wide? Oh yeah, it's because he's an AI car. And I'm just losing places immediately. So place down from where we started now. Started 18th, now we're in 19th. As we come around Coram corner, dabbing the brakes there to induce a bit of trail braking. After the last updates, lift off oversteer, things like that, much better now. But with this car on default setup has got the diff locked up quite a bit under coast, so you do not get a lot of lift off oversteer. A bit like the McLaren, even the McLaren in ACC is very, very stable under lift off. Let's plant it as we come out of Montreal there. Got the Porsche looking to take 19th place away from us there, but I'm going to hold him off. And he has yielded as I had the nose, so that's good. Hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. And stick with the sort of gold and black Ginetta there as we come around Hamilton. Yes! Very close racing with these AI now, so close. I'm just using the brakes to rotate the car into Williams. We're back into 18th place. He's still having a look. I'm going to try and not let him slipstream us, because one thing about this sim I do love, the AI do use slipstream. You can see them doing it. Absolutely great stuff. Around we go to Nelson's. Can we keep the power on through the bong hole? Pretty much. Well, it's lifting a bit every now and then as we go around Coram into Williams. Careful accelerating on that outer curbing. And the McLaren is accelerating away, but we're just starting to get a toe by the end of the straight. But of course then we're on the brakes again for Rich's corner. Just use all of it as well. Can I dart down the inside here? Yes, I can. Up into 17th, pleased with that. I'm not using my VR as I was in the last video, because quite a lot of you, that McLaren's having a look up the inside. Hang on. I'm not using the VR because a lot of you said in my last video that because my VR Pimax is such a great big thing that you couldn't see me and you were worried that I wasn't there. So I do apologise to you all, but now you can really see my ugly mush. You did ask for it. I'm not getting all that much time to make these videos anymore because I'm back working and busy all the time, but I ain't complaining. And you might notice I'm a bit hoarse. That's because everything I do involves a lot of commentary when I'm doing my tours on the River Cam. I'm constantly using a bit too much brake there. Coming through Nelson's back end, trying to step out. The back end of this car does feel a little bit light in that respect. If you use a lot of brakes, even though the brake bias, default brake bias in this car is set quite far forward, too much braking and you can rotate that back end. The engine, of course, with this one being in the front, so a lot of the weight's there. But yeah, in the various things that I do, I'm either talking or singing a lot. Whether it be pushing pump tours on the River Cam or singing on a Sunday at my local jam or rehearsing for a gig or whatever, so I'm a bit hoarse. I do apologise about that, but enough of that because we're catching up. And just as I say it, I'll go wide out of Montreal. The McLaren there eager to take advantage of that, but we managed to get a decent enough exit. Keeping my foot on the brake just to the apex of that corner and back on the accelerator just to help the car rotate. A little bit of brake on the entry to Hamilton, power on the out. The Ginetta now, the GT4 version of it does, after the last update, finally have the traction control and ABS that it is supposed to have as well. So we have got the default amount of that. It's nice to have that. Oh, don't lose it. So easy to lose it through Brundle and Nelson there. Really tricky set of corners. The more I drive this track, I love it. I mean, it is my local track. I've been there to see the races. Always good to come here, especially with the infield part. And we are catching. Little bit slippery as we step over the curb onto the green padding there, but we've kept it down. One thing I will be looking at is, or looking for, I mentioned in the last video that since the update there are some bugs that I found, or rather that are still persisting, and so if we have to pit the tyres, or if it rains and we've got to change, we'll see what they're like, because I found that it's a couple of the British tracks I've found this at, i.e. Alton and Alton Park and Donington, that and this has been with the Ginetta G40 Cup and the F3s, but when you go into the pit, you're driving at the pit and suddenly your car goes absolutely haywire. It starts spinning around like it's just hit black ice or something. It'll turn completely round, and I'm talking about at no miles per hour hardly. So we'll see if we have to pit here. We'll see if that happens here. I hope not. But yeah, note to you guys at Reza, there's a bug for you. Anyone else watching this video, just in case I don't get time to go and report it after this, because I'm going to have to do other things today, have a look at trying to use the F3s or the G40 Cup. I'm not quite sure if it's any other cars it does it with at Alton and Donington, but try pitting halfway through a race, see what happens. You might see what I mean. Like I said, this isn't... That's just something to mention, because I've got no point to this video, to be honest with you, to be absolutely blunt about it. I just woke up this morning with the mower going outside and thought, I'm awake now, I'll just have a race. But I'm glad I did, so thanks again, neighbour, because I'm enjoying this immensely. And oh, look at the McLaren there, he's getting a tow off of the Ginetta in front. I do love the fact that the AI do slipstream. They really do use slipstream, whether it's yours or each other's in this sim. That's one thing I really love. I can't wait for the AI when they do finally get a global update, as has been mentioned in the development blogs for R Factor 2 by Studio 397. Can't wait for that, because they can really do with it. Currently in that sim the AI do not use your slipstream or each other's, but I can't wait to see that getting updated, because I love that sim. You know, I've stuck with R Factor 2 since the beginning, but the development process has been slow. I've stuck with AMS2 now since the beginning, and the development process from Reza has been so fast. The curve is so steep. I think that's a good thing for R Factor 2, because I'm now seeing more and more updates more frequently for R Factor 2. Now, whether that's competition from seeing other companies like Reza and Kunos updating their sims so frequently, particularly Reza, or if it's just a takeover from Motorsport Games making them up their game a bit. Yeah, I know it's a terrible pun, but you know, it fits. So I think the competition might be good. That's I think we're going to see a lot happening with that, because we just had Sebring for R Factor 2 updated. We've had Lime Rock, we've had Indianapolis, they've also updated the SSR, Reflections, it's all happening there. And they did mention a global AI update, but I have to say, in terms of AI, really good in Automobilista 2 at the moment. Well done, Reza, they are so good to race against. You know, they don't give up. You leave a gap and they're like, oh, what's that? Can I get through? It's brilliant. Hang on, concentrate a bit. Use a little bit of power. Time. Well, can use, with the setup I've got at the moment, I can just about steer the back end a little bit under power, but not a lot. But yeah, the AI are really, really good in this. Although I have, since the last update, I know there's been a little bit of a problem at Nordschleife. You know, they will sort of go for gaps on the inside that aren't there. Oh, look, hello! Talking of AI going for gaps, the orange McLaren behind me is caught up and was having a nose around my back end there. Right, I'll try and get back to the racing now, folks. As we come down the Bentley straight, let's try and get Brundle and Nelson right. Come on, no, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it. Oh, so close to losing it there. Oh, and I totally fluffed my gears. And there we go, the McLaren is totally on it, having a look. I've just slowed him down a bit by pulling in on him. And he probably had to slow down quite a bit to adjust his line so he didn't run into the back of me because I stopped so abruptly there. They're amazing at I've never seen AI in any of the sim pull off such amazing evasive manoeuvres when something goes wrong on track, but actually not lose a hell of a lot of time themselves. They're so on it. Right, come on. A good entry and a good exit to Montreal there. Oh, really using the brakes there to rotate the car at Palmer. And the McLaren behind us has really dropped back now. Wasn't watching to what happened to him around that last corner, so you have to be careful with the brakes on this car. Braking, especially on sort of low speed, tight corners. Look at that, look at it rotating the car there around Oggies. There's a bit of that on the inside coming at Williams and then power out. Oh, on the green stuff. Can we get a tow? Don't think we got quite good enough an exit, and they're quite a league in front of us there. Maybe I'll try some earlier preliminary braking, try and get things a bit smoother and catch them that way. Oh yes! Got around the bomb hole very nicely there, and they're braking a little bit. They're all fighting between each other. Look at that! McLaren looking like it's trying to go for a move on the pink and purple Ginetta. We've just, sorry mate, my fault, just touched the back left quarter of the orange Ginetta there. And he's sticking with us. Can we make it stick around the outside of Richard's corner? Yes we can. Oh no, but we almost went too wide. I had to lift off a little bit. And he's made it through. Oh, nearly going right up his back end there. Oh, this is just... I have a theory about, you know, people sometimes say, oh, there's not always a lot of people on the online lobbies with Automobilista too. Usually, I can always find people, but, you know, there might be one server with like 16 people and the rest are only up 4 or 2. But I have a theory on why that might be, because there are plenty of leagues and clubs already that are using AMS2, and I've been involved with those races, and it's usually a really good full field. But I think when it comes to sort of like casual public open servers, I think the reason maybe there's not so many people is because the AI racing is this good. It's this good. And I know that sometimes I don't want to, now that I've got less time or shorter windows of time, now that I'm a lot busier in life, sometimes I don't bother with, you know, online. I don't want to jump into a server, even if there's a lot of people there, and find that it's 120 minutes of practice, and then 15 minutes of quali for a, you know, 10 or 15 minute race. But the practice has still got 95 minutes to go. You know, I just want to jump straight into a race. And it's so easy to set one up in Automobilista 2. I find the UI and getting everything working is so easy. I mean, yes, there are, like I said, that pit stop bug. But there's only a couple of the tracks so far. And generally stuff like that gets sorted pretty quickly by Reza. I will try and do a bug report on that for them. And just had a quick glance in the mirrors, and it seems that the cars behind are catching up. I think that's one of the Ginettas that has overtaken the orange McLarens that were tailing me so hard earlier. Oh, come on, can I get past these guys? 2 places up from where we started in 18th, we're now in 16th. It's really good competition. Whoa! I've just left the brake a little bit too late, just touched his back end, done no damage to either him or me, but did touch the back end there. Come on! And I'm powering it out, nearly. It's starting to get squirrely on the back end. TC traction control not cutting in enough to let me not sort of have a slight semi-drift on the way out of there, right. And I have made a mess of Nelson's there. It's going to enable these 2 behind me to catch up. These cars in front of me here all jostling about. Now let's see if we can get a tow. Come on! And we're starting to get one, but it's too late. Come on! Oh, I was going to make it down the inside. Going to try up the inside, but the Ginetta's gone to the inside as well. Just swap paintwork a little bit there. Ginetta's going for it around the outside of the McLaren there. Even the braking as late as I can. Here we go, come on. And I've pushed him wide. That slowed him down a bit. We've got through. We're past him at Hamilton. He's wide out on the outside. Wait. He has made it stick quite nice. He's got the inside line there. Damn it. Can I get a tow? Can I get a tow? Yes, we're getting a tow. I have to make sure, be very careful with my braking. Through bundle. Ah, we've just nudged the sausage curbing on the inside there. Oh! Got away from us at the beginning of Coram, but we'll catch him up on the exit. Everything's starting to bunch up a bit. The cars behind are closer now as we go past the pits on the centre straight up to Rich's. And he used quite a lot of brake on the entry, which has allowed us to get a good exit. Can we get him on the inside this time? Yes! We've outbraked him. We've made it up to 15th. Now is he going to fight back? This is the thing, they do not give up now, these AI. However, now I've said that'll probably be an instance where, oh yes, he is fighting back. He's coming back at me. I'm committed now. Oh, relax a little bit on the Bentley straight. This racing is so good and it's just AI. Much better around Nelson's there this time round. Use that low inside curve at the bomb hole there to help us pull the car around, and oh, am I actually going for the outside here? No, I'm starting to feel that I'm losing grip on the slight marbles outside. Just touched the inside of the McLaren. That was my fault. I'm just getting carried away with how good this is making me feel early in the morning. This is great. You can really feel where the grip... Oh, he's going for it! But we've outbraked him again. He did go for it though. He seems to be a bit of an early braker. The cars, the AI drivers all have much more individual personalities now, so that might be his thing. You know, the parameters that have been given to that AI driver is that he doesn't brake too late into a corner, but he certainly goes for it when there's a gap there, doesn't he? And these two now, the two McLarens having a little bit of a battle in front of me. Can I make it round the inside of them? That Oggies. Nearly. Try and power out of Williams, and we are right behind the McLaren. We should get a tow now. Mind you, he's got a slightly better exit. He's actually getting away from us there. The McLaren, the BOP adjustments that have been made to this certain category, nearly lost it there. BOP adjustments they're fantastic now, much more closely matched. Before that, the McLaren would just... Oh! I've turned in on the Ginetta there, who was having a look down the inside. Got a slight nudge, he's letting me know he's there. Come on mate, it's not quite touring cars, but that's split the pack quite a bit. Slowed him down, slowed me down, allowed them to get ahead. Yeah, the McLaren used to absolutely muller you on the... Oh, there he goes again. I can't get a sentence out without something happening. This is brilliant racing. This is what you want. You want it to be so intense there's just no time to talk. Fantastic stuff. And he's really having a look at me now. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think, you know, unless you're... If you're going to go online and it's planned and you've got a league and you know what your qualifying times are, you know there's plenty of people turning up, it's quite, you know, it's always worth it. But do you think that maybe the lack of players in public lobbies is down to the AI being this good? I mean, they're that good. You mix them up with... Because I love the fact that in this sim you can have online, you can have humans and AI. But the AI in this, I mean, it's still AI, but they are getting that good. You can have them on track with you, with a bunch of humans, and sometimes it's hard to tell. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Keep up those marbles on the outside of the core. It might be much better if I stuck to the inside where the grip is. The live track technology in this getting better and better. Oh, using the brakes to really rotate the car there around Richards. And we're getting close now. Oh, how good an exit can we get? The McLaren's still fast in a straight line. It was pulling away from us on the Bentley straight there, slightly. So the McLaren is still good on top speed. No point in going for that. Mind you, what's he doing? Is he going for it? Oh, the McLaren's there. Just swapping paint. Oh, no! Disaster! Don't. Oh, no. We've just clunked the side bar. No cars coming. All that hard work, and now the car's feeling a bit off. We have just clonked the barrier. It's not steering correctly. And looking down at our damage widget in the right hand side there, we've got a little bit of front and rear suspension damage on the outside of the car. Yeah, it's understeering slightly as we take right hand corners as well. Oh, that is not good. After all of that, we just hit that green padding, which is a bit slippery on the outside, and at Hamilton, and round the back went. Oh no. Oh, it's not taking right-handers too well anymore. Those cars behind us are gonna. Can I carry on racing with this? I think that's. Oh, don't do it again. Yeah, it's really not driving as well. The back and rear have also taken some damage. Not quite sure what it's done, but mind you, I will use this opportunity to point out how good the damage system in this sim is. I've always loved great damage in sims and racing games, you know. It just adds to the realism. It's so immersive, and it also makes you really not want to crash. You see how I'm struggling now, those cars behind me catching up, real consequential damage. There's been a conversation on Race Department recently. One of the Kunos developers, I did mention this in my last review, but I'll mention it again. One of the Kunos developers in an interview did say they're not going to bother with too much realistic damage because I don't think that's what's wanted in the sim racing community, and pretty much everyone on that thread came back and said, yes it is, yes we do, we want more realistic damage, we want, and that's our race over. We managed to make it to the end of the race, but those cars behind us now coming up in Marira, they would have got past. They would have made it past because, I mean, look, my steering in a straight line is off. hanging to the left. I feel it not cornering so well. And I'll try and show the replay cameras of this as well. It's nice to have the visual damage. It's good to have the visual damage in a sim, just because you can see, you know, on track. Especially with this sim, you can see where there have been bits of cars left, and you're thinking, okay, that corner might be a bit dangerous at the moment because of the evidence that's left there by other cars. And then when you pass other cars, and you can see that they're damaged, you think maybe I'll avoid that one, you know. It all adds to the immersion so much. And I'm going to I will complete this cooldown lap and pull into the pits and see if that pit bug is here, because we haven't ended up having a pit. The weather hasn't changed really much at all, so we haven't had a pit. But wow, all of this because my next door neighbour decided to mow his lawn at 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's wet, the grass is wet. Why would you want to mow your lawn when it's soaking wet? It's just not going to be good for the mower. Well, obviously he's got a powerful one. Anyway, I don't mind, I've just had a great time. And seeing as it's my day off, I've got a day off on a Saturday, which is weird. But I might spend quite a bit more of the day doing this. This has been great. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And let's see what happens when we pull into the pits. I've never experienced that whole sort of car spinning around weirdness back here. Yeah, and it's fine at this track, so good to be able to report that back. And I'm not going to pull into the space. No, I have to. It's going to make me. I was going to drive straight into the garage. But I really enjoyed that. So how did we do in the end? We were in something like 16th or 18th. And oh, we've ended in 18th place. Exactly where we started. The competition from the AI in this is just fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that. I bloody well did. Cheers all.